Oh, hi.
What?
Hello.
Um. Oh my God. Um. Good. Hello.
This is the episode. Hi, everyone.
Yup.
Can't believe you did this to me,
I
Ruby.
said I was gonna switch scenes, didn't I?
You normally count. You usually go
I
3, 2,
know.
1,
It's one of
and
those days. It's one of those days. It's fine.
hmm Anyway, welcome to the Just Gaming Tingz podcast, where we bring the all queer perspective on video games, gaming news, nerdy stuff every Saturday live on twitch.tv at Just Gaming Tingz at 2 o'clock standard Eastern time. For me, it's 1 o'clock Central. That's right. And then the next day on YouTube and your other favorite podcast services. My name is Koga Jangles, and with me to my whatever I'm pointing at is Spin Blend.
No, it's me.
Hello.
Wait, is it? Wait,
Yes.
but on my end, oh my lord, I'm looking at it in Discord, and Spin is on my right.
Plot
Whoa.
twist. I'm on your right. Hi, it's
that's-
me, Ruby.
What is happening?
We gotta go. So, we have
This,
to go.
this is
Okay, this is-
fine.
Okay, so then on my right, we have Project Ruby,
Hi, it's me.
and then we have Spin Blend.
Hello. Hi there. We're trying our best.
We're trying our best. We really are. And for those of you listening on the audio version, we're just clowned around.
We're just clowning.
I just switched scenes on like stream and like randomly, basically, without doing a countdown, and then everyone was shook. That's why everyone was shook right at the beginning of the episode. So now you understand.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, how was your week? Let's start with that. How was everyone's week? Are y'all good? What's going on?
My week has been all right.
Right?
Because we didn't want to like talk over one another, so I just kind of eased my way in, and that now I am.
And here you are.
My week has been pretty all right. Just working from home finally, so I don't have to like go out and catch the bus with these COVID heathens out here.
Oh, not that. Ugh.
Captions, did you really put COVID-19? I just said COVID, not 19.
They know what
Yeah,
you
the
mean.
captions do that automatically.
They're like,
'Cause
you're not
they-
talking about COVID-18 or
Great,
17.
just putting words in my mouth.
Listen,
They
it's
know.
fine.
They know the situation. They know what's up.
And how's your
Yeah.
week been, Spen?
You know, just been trying my best. I did just recently get these adorable pins in the mail that I have on my.
Yes.
And for anyone listening to the audio version, they are pins of Dom from Animal Crossing. And one of them says, "Do not mess with me," and then the other one says, "I will cry."
I love that so much.
It's very good. It's the energy that I wanted to bring to the podcast today, and I feel like I succeeded.
It's also like a mood.
Mhm.
Like for the week, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the mood for the week. Do not mess with me. I will cry.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. My week has been good. My week has been okay. I kind of got a little overwhelmed by all of the things because this weekend is packed for me. Like I have a show I'm doing tomorrow. I'm gonna be a part of my friend Kiso's Queer which is a music video showcase for queer artists. And I did a podcast episode yesterday. I'm doing one on Monday. So just a lot of coordinating people's schedules and doing all of that stuff, which is always a great time, getting people together for 1 hour for one show from different time zones and countries and states and shenanigans. But I'm very excited to be here with y'all to talk about Gaming Tingz. It's yeah, a gaming team apparently, according to the captions. The captions
Gaming
never get our
teams.
name right.
Gaming teens, just all of it.
Oh my lord.
As per usual, each of us are going to go around and pick a topic that happened this week that we want to bring to the table, that we want to discuss, all of that fun stuff. And so, Spin, what do you want to talk about?
Well, it's always really interesting when like gaming stuff is covered in like the major news outlets, and I always just think that's really interesting because like I feel like people who aren't into gaming don't know how to talk about gaming. Like
The Fortnite.
It's just so yeah, yes, I've heard of game. So I saw this one story like everywhere, and I'm going from from CNN here.
Ooh, official sources.
So yeah, the real serious news,
right?
But yeah, so Roblox went public on the stock market, and people are like, I guess they're trying to do like a GameStop thing with Roblox because like they literally the day that they went public, their company is worth more than $45 billion because
damn.
I don't know what this is because like, listen, I'm gay. I don't understand math. I don't understand the stock market.
Right.
I don't understand the stocks. We kind of went over this when the GameStop stocks thing happened, but like,
truly,
I feel like this kind of started like a trend of like gamers being really into like messing with the stock market for reasons for like boredom and profit, I guess.
Hey, I'm here for it.
The turnips aren't enough, They trained all last year with the turnips, and now they're ready for the real thing.
So Daisy May changed the future of business with her turnips.
That's one way to go about it. That's one theory.
That might be a situation because like literally when the GameStop stocks thing happened, my partner was like, me and my partner were just like trying to wrap our brains around it because we're both like very queer, very bad at math, and we're just like, what is happening? And he just kind of like lit up and was like, it's like the turnips. And like explained it to me in terms of turnips,
which is based on the stock market.
Oh.
It was a real full circle moment for us. It was a real full circle moment.
Truly. This doesn't really surprise me. Like, Roblox is super popular, so it doesn't surprise me that people from the outside kind of look into investing, and they're like, oh, gaming is really popular. Oh, this game seems very popular. Let me invest in it. So I think it's very interesting that it's kind of like happening. And it also is interesting from an outside perspective because I'm sure there's a lot of people that invest in gaming just like through like, like their finances person, like, oh, let me invest in this. This seems like a good thing to invest on, like without having no idea like what the game is about, who's developing it, whatever. It's interesting because recently, actually, my friend Passion's Planet Online, she actually told me that they're working on improving the graphics of the game because the game looks very like Lego-y, like the characters are very reminiscent of like Legos, and apparently like their plan is for the game to look more realistic. So I wonder if going public was a part of that, like to get more investors, to get more money, to maybe have a bigger team. Because I think the game is free, so that would make sense that they would want to have like people investing in the game to improve it. But I don't honestly don't know. I haven't looked into it either. I just think it's very interesting when like stuff like this happens. It reminds me of like when Minecraft turned from like an indie into like suddenly everyone wants to buy it, and like Microsoft ended up buying it and that whole thing. And I mean, Minecraft didn't really go anywhere, like it's still pretty popular. There's still a pretty big community over there. So it's very interesting to see that Roblox could potentially be the next Minecraft, if you will. Very, I don't know. Weirder things have happened in the last year, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've
Definitely.
actually never played Roblox before, so
Oh, me
I
neither.
don't even know what it's about. My thought is thinking building robots, perhaps.
It's
I'm gonna-
basically like kids become
Teens.
Lego men and interact with each other in a Lego man universe.
Yeah,
Kind-
'cause,
There's not like
I was kind of right.
and like Minecraft, they build like little multiplayer like games, and like it's a very like build your own game within a game kind of thing. So like there's fashion shows, there's like scare, like there's tag, there's scary stuff, it's essentially what Minecraft did at the beginning, where like there's all these multiplayer servers where people can play all these fan-made levels, which is really impressive, to be honest. Like it's really impressive that there's like that's like potentially the beginning for a lot of people to eventually become like game developers, right? Like through like making levels in these games and stuff like that, eventually they can grow a passion for eventually making their own game, which is actually really cool if you think about it. um but yeah, it's a sandboxy, along the lines of Gary's Mod, VR Chat, like Dex is saying. I think it came before both of those games, if I'm not mistaken. I know VR Chat is more recent, at least. I don't know about Gary's Mod, but yeah.
Gary Mod is pretty kind of old.
Oh,
I don't know
it?
what
Yeah.
year, but yeah, I think that's like before even I became a PC gamer, and that's been like a good 8 years. Like I think it's been around for a long time.
it's been around for a while.
I'm gonna look it up. 2006 Gary's Mod, and Roblox was definitely afterwards. Roblox was the same year. Wig. 2006, both of them 2006. That's awesome. Roblox
Just
was
learning.
Ooh, Roblox did come out first. Roblox was September. Oh no, just kidding. Gary's Mod came out initially in 2004. It came to Steam in 2006. My bad. My bad.
Okay.
Can I read? No.
It's a live medium. We're learning. We're evolving. We're
Yeah.
growing.
2004, and then Roblox 2006, and then VR Chat later, obviously. 2017. We're learning. Hello, hi.
Yeah.
We are. One of the things about this that I kind of wanted to pose to y'all is like, because, and they did bring this up in the article that I'm referencing here.
Mm-hmm.
Because the user base of Roblox is like so young, do we think that them being like a publicly traded company is gonna affect things within the game, like advertising to kids, or like maintaining the safety of the platform? Like are things gonna, are they gonna be, is it gonna be more like, oh, we have to get our act together, we're a publicly traded company and there's a bunch of kids on here? Like
I would assume so, right? Because we had this conversation semi-recently where I brought up this video from Alana Pierce where she talked about how oftentimes video game conferences or video reveals and stuff like that are basically for the investors to see that there is hype around them and they have things that are going to make money. So I would assume that their decisions moving forward would I mean, if even like because the game is free, I think a lot of the decisions would be made based on how they can please the current investors and how they can continue to have people invest in their stocks. So yeah, they definitely would have to be careful, and they would definitely have to like listen to feedback on how to make the game safer and how to also make it profitable, which is pretty easy if you have a platform like, you know, like if we just look at V-Bucks, for example, that's super profitable, right? So I don't think that's a huge issue. Um, I don't think that would be a thing that they wouldn't do, but it will be interesting seeing how that kind of takes place moving forward and how they handle stuff.
Okay.
I don't think it will
What's
be dramatically
V-Bucks?
different though. V-Bucks is the currency on Fortnite.
Okay, I was like, what's that?
It's the paid
That makes
currency
sense.
on Fortnite that people pay like for the battle pass, and they get a certain amount of V-Bucks every day or something like that. Yeah.
Then yeah, they'll definitely have something like that if it's not already in there because
Right.
money. But I
Yeah.
guess they'll probably definitely want to make sure they're not getting into any type of issues. So I guess they'll clean. I mean, I'm not sure how things are because like I don't think I've even ever seen anything with Roblox. I just heard the name and then that was about it. But if it's something we want to keep, I guess the investors happy, they'll definitely do. I mean, they want money, so they'll more likely do what needs to be done,
Mm.
good or bad.
I've only seen cursed content from it.
Oh
So
my God, cursed content.
Yeah, the content that I have seen has definitely been cursed content.
I think if we're gonna picture in like from a couple years from now, I could easily see Roblox, if they want to maintain being indie, cool, but I could also see them either being purchased by like a big company like Epic or something like that. And
Yeah.
that would open the possibility for them to have actually licensed stuff. So I think copyright would probably be an issue because people can dress up in whatever they want and stuff like that in the game. So I would assume that they would, moving forward, they could do kind of like how PlayStation Home had like licensed outfits for like celebrities and characters and stuff like that, and it could kind of do that thing where maybe the game is free to download but there's paid stuff that you can do, or maybe they have a team working on licensed, like not licensed games but like proper mini games and stuff like that, for moderation purposes or something like that. I could see how that could be interesting, especially if they want to move like if they want to keep like improving the graphics or changing their style and stuff like that. I could see that being an interesting future for them.
Yeah. Can definitely see that.
Yeah. Do we want
Do we-
to do another topic? Should I do it?
Yeah,
Should I do
I
it?
was gonna say it. Review I talk about.
I, as a surprise to no one, I want to talk about Square Enix, okay? Because they announced the presentation on the 18th of March. And before every Final Fantasy stan starts freaking out, they released a list of things that they're going to talk about. So, and Final Fantasy is not there as far as we know. From their official blog post on their website, they said that the Square Enix Presents is going to be a 40-minute approximately video, and it will give you sneak peeks of Life is Strange. So the next Life is Strange series, they're going to showcase the new protagonist and their new power. They're going to show the RPG shooter Outriders that's coming out in April, so they're going to show footage of that. They're going to showcase more details about Balan Wonderworld, which is the platformer created by the creators of Knights and Sonic. And which apparently, side note, the straights apparently don't really get it. Like, I've heard a straight man saying that it was like one of the worst demos they have ever played, and I was like, you don't understand. You don't get it. You don't understand camp, do you? Anyway, Tomb Raider, I'm excited about that, but we'll talk about what we're excited about in just a second. They're gonna talk about the 25th anniversary celebrations. They're gonna update people on Marvel's Avengers, as well as Just Cause Mobile, new mobile game announcements from Square Enix Montreal, and a Taito showcase, which is gonna be more unexpected, I guess. Like, we don't really know what's gonna come out of that one, because Taito is basically a sister company of Square Enix, so they're gonna showcase titles from Taito. I am so excited for this, but I want to hear about y'all first. Like, when you first saw this, and then you read after you got over the fact that no Final Fantasy is gonna be there. What were like your initial like thoughts? What are you most excited for to see?
Life is Go ahead.
Yeah, talk about Life is Strange.
I should have asked one of you, huh? It's fine. It's fine. Doing great.
We're trying our best.
Life is Strange, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about it.
Oh, we're leaving this on me? Okay, cool. So I didn't play the second one. I played the first one and then Before the Storm, and I did like those. So I mean, I think the listener says it's going to be a brand new story. Yeah, it says new protagonists and whatnot. So I guess that's probably what we're going to do with each game.
Mm-hmm.
So I am interested in see how that turns out. Though I do need to play the second one still, though. I can't say Marvel Avengers too much. Like, I have a slight interest because I love Marvel, but they keep making bad decisions. But they're making an update to where it's now going to take longer to level up now. So it's like I'm not sure. It feels like they might be just doing bad things on purpose so that they can eventually move on. I can't tell. Like, I don't know. I hope that they change things, but it's looking like it's going to be Anthem, and that got canceled. So I don't know. So we have Tomb Raider. I still have not played I played a bit of the one that came out, was it 2013?
Yeah,
but I haven't played the other ones yet. So I am curious what they're going to do with this. I think didn't they mention the next game was supposed to, I guess, bridge in the older games and the new one? I think we talked about that before.
I think we talked about that too. And there was I think it was a leak from the Microsoft store, if I'm not mistaken, where they're gonna do like they're gonna release the trilogy as like the ultimate edition kind of thing. So they're gonna release 2013, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider as like one game. Maybe like for new gen updates and stuff like that, it's probably going to be like a not a limited version, but the ultimate version of all three of the games, probably including DLC, all of that stuff. So I hope they have more to say than that. Because you can't, like, I would hope that in the 25th anniversary of a series that they would have something cool planned for it. I understand that they could also be waiting for the 30th anniversary to do something even cooler. But I feel like 25th is like, I think 25th is more of a mark than 30th is. You know what I mean? I feel like it's like you celebrate 25th and then you celebrate 50. Of course, with games it's different because you can't really, like, sometimes it's hard for a game or for a franchise to last 50 years. But I would hope that they do something cool. It would be really nice. And Taito is responsible for Space Invaders and Bubble Bobble, which I loved. Bubble Bobble. We had an arcade machine of that in a local coffee shop, and I loved it. So if they release a Bubble Bobble, or like even if it's a mobile game, I don't care. I'm here for that. Give it to me now.
I really hope that they do something cool for the Tomb Raider anniversary. Like, that's probably the thing I'm gonna be like most like, ooh, what are they doing for Tomb Raider anniversary? Because like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of like the anniversaries lately have been kind of disappointing. Like
Yeah.
they didn't really do much for the Sonic one. The Mario one was like alright. Like they did some like re-releases, like nothing like too revolutionary.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they do something cool for Tomb Raider's anniversary. I I haven't played the Balan Wonderworld demo yet, but I have like seen that the straights aren't into it, and that makes me want to play it more.
Right. Right.
So I definitely want to get to the demo one of these days. I might actually, depending on how I feel about the demo, I might actually pick that up. Because listen,
It's
if
just
the straights don't like it, then maybe I will.
yeah, it's just delightful. The game just gives me like Mardi Gras vibes. It's just like drama, and there's like fancy outfits, and they do random parades for no reason, and there's like, you know, there's like something super dramatic, like a musical moment after you beat a boss fight. It's just like camp in the best queerest
I
possible way, and the straights are just like, I don't get it. This is like,
I love that. That's amazing. Like, what's
yeah,
not to get?
they're like, it's like a weird fever dream. I'm like, yeah. Exactly, that's what I
Yeah.
love about it. Yes, give it to me.
So yeah, I'm gonna be excited to see more about that. I do want to play the demo before it comes out. I have it downloaded, but I haven't played the demo yet because I'm a clown and I keep spending time on 14. But we'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah. The game is coming out on the 26th of this month, so they're probably just going to show a little bit more of what to expect. The demo is pretty big. You do get to play 4 different levels and 1 boss fight. So it's not 4 different levels technically. It's like phase 1 and 2 of the first level, and then you play phase 1 of a different level and phase 2 of another one. So, and then
Okay.
a boss fight. So, but you get to do the first full level, first act, second act, and boss fight. So, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
As far as
Try to
Avengers for me,
before
oh
it comes
yeah, you have 2 weeks.
out. Mhm.
As far as the Avengers, I hope that they add more like campaign to it. Because I would like that. I would get the game on sale and play the campaign and then maybe get the DLC for like other heroes and play as them.
They're free.
It's free DLC.
The thing is that so this is what they're doing. The characters come out and they're free, but you have to pay $10 to get their battle pass, to where you level up doing these missions to get like costumes and all that stuff. Which, I mean, it's mostly cosmetics for the most part, but that's how they're having that go.
Oh, that's an
So I think
interesting choice.
Yeah, they've that's how I guess they wanted to do it since they started it, but I don't know.
I'm curious about the new Life is Strange, because they've been, well, yeah, from the beginning they've been pretty inclusive. The first one was kind of like, okay, this is queer baity, but then Before the Storm, and then kind of confirmed a lot of the theories that a lot of the things that were implied in the first one were kind of confirmed in Before the Storm. So that was cool. But then Life is Strange 2 is pretty inclusive. I haven't really played it, but I've obviously heard about people's experiences about it. So I'm very curious to see what direction they're gonna go with Life is Strange 3, and see how they can kind of. I would love like a queer story that is more than like 3 episodes looking at Tell Me Why. That doesn't focus on the struggles of being queer. It's just like the characters happen to be queer and then they have some other drama going on. Or alternatively, I've heard some people kind of mention that they would like to see like a happier story. Because you can tell a good story and it being a happy story, like a positive story, uplifting, right? So I would be here for that.
I mainly want like queer stories where you can tell queer people were consulted or like wrote the story, like because like I feel like queer representation like tends to fall into two camps. It's either like exploitative of queer trauma,
Yeah.
or like this is just a character and oh they're gay, like oh okay, but like we're all queer, we know a lot of queer people in our lives, like we never shut up about being queer, like I literally say I'm gay like every 2 seconds, like I feel like that's a more realistic portrayal of people. But to like have it be an organic like part of our personality, because it is,
Yeah.
you know. So like I feel like when people are trying to write queer characters, they're either like just like exploitative of it or like just shying away from it. Like, no, this is just a person who just like maybe they'll say like after the fact, oh, they were gay the whole time, but there's like no clues
Right.
in the story.
Right.
Or it was like hinted at, and you had to talk to every NPC.
Right. And it's like it is realistic to like have like your lead character have like a rainbow like wristband or something and be like, hi, hello.
I just want a gay as fuck story where like the main character is like getting a fictional version of Grindr, and you just hear something like something important is going on, and then you just hear like boop boop in the background. It's like, oh, hold on. And they're like,
oh my goodness.
And they're like, oh, so and so texted me, hold on. Or like they're talking about like boy drama, or you know what I mean, just like stuff like that, where it's just like, yeah. And I want like a gaming equivalent of Move I'm Gay.
Yes. Oh my god.
That's what I want.
Definitely want like a game, because like literally whenever I'm like in a game and I have to like shove past NPCs, literally what am I doing? I'm yelling, move, I'm gay.
Yes. Exactly.
It's very that.
That would be iconic. Listen, I'm here for that.
Love that.
Well, maybe one day. Maybe, but it seems like a lot of them are afraid to, I guess, go to that point for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it's like you're saying, there are a lot who to where it is like kind of more of their personality, because they've had to hide it, for so long.
Yeah.
So it's like now that they could, be free and be themselves. Yeah, they're gonna say it all the time. And the thing is, if it was normal to begin with, wouldn't have to worry about that. But I think there's definitely room for there to be games where there are like that.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you're
because
gonna
that
build,
is a thing.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because I'm like, yeah, because that is a thing for a lot of people in the community. Some are not. I mean, I'm not one who is, but I understand, people who are, and it's like, yeah, they deserve, a game and things, and to be represented as well. So not everyone has, not everyone was like me to where, it wasn't as bad for me, especially considering like I was already like moved out of my mom's house by then. Not saying my mom was bad. It's just that I really didn't have anything to worry about. But for some, they just have to hide, who they are until like they're like an adult, and even while they're an adult. So, it doesn't hurt to, make a game with that type of representation. And if that's something is like you're afraid to put in because of how people are, I mean, I can expect that because they just want money. But there's definitely room for, more. What's the word I'm thinking of? Oh my God, words.
Like representation? Like,
yeah. Like there's more room for just more than just people being straight, or you have to just, again, put hints to where I have to go all like on YouTube and look at a theory and be like,
yeah.
Huh. It's like, just treat it like it's normal, like everything else, because it is.
Yeah.
Or like really like queer coded allegory, like.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in layers of metaphor. Like,
Yeah, right.
Right.
it's like just let people be queer. Just like
Right.
Stop being a bush. Let them be.
Exactly. And like if you're going to build a fictional world, why don't you build a world that doesn't have homophobia in it? Like a world where people are understanding and people, like aren't racist and aren't transphobic and bigoted and all that. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to build a world that would be kind of ideal for someone to escape into while they're turning on their PC or Xbox or whatever they're playing on, then why don't you build? Why is it always like an edgier, darker, grimmer, worse world than the one we live in? Why can't it be a world where people like there's other issues other than
Right.
like what if in that universe those issues are not a thing and people focus on other issues, maybe like politics or capitalism or other issues that aren't necessarily about people's identities and existence, but are about potential societal issues or whatever it might be, you know?
You know what I think it is? I think it's when people are writing queer narratives, they're writing it for a cishet audience.
Yeah.
So, like, they're thinking, like, oh, the cishet person playing this, I want them to be able to empathize with this queer character. So we're going to have them go through, like, really traumatic bullshit to humanize them for the cishet player playing this game.
Because the cishet understands
Yeah.
or can potentially relate with like being bullied or something like that, and so they're like, let me put this queer person being bullied so that they can see what they go through and be like, oh, I feel bad for them, I guess I shouldn't be an asshole.
Right.
Haven't we had that like enough in media though? So I might
Yeah.
we don't need it no more.
Yeah,
Like they know.
right.
Like
Yeah.
so you can do something different, something better.
Yeah, and like if you're creating a game and you're thinking like, oh, the cishet player who might be playing this game is not going to see this character as a human because they're queer, I mean, that kind of sounds like a problem with the
Yeah.
audience you're targeting and not necessarily with the game.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, with
No.
good writing, you can have anyone empathize with anyone, regardless of their background, nationality, ethnicity, language, like literally anything. If it's well written, you can have your players empathize or enjoy the characters, have fun with them, laugh with them, not at them. Just like stuff like that. I don't know. Let us know, y'all. Chat, YouTube, Twitter. Let us know. Tell us what are you excited for? Let us know.
And what do you want to see?
Yeah, what would you like to see for sure? No Final Fantasy though. Don't get don't be
Yeah, no, like, and then at the end they're gonna reveal a
Right.
release date for Final Fantasy 16.
No, y'all don't
No.
don't do that to yourselves. Don't.
Forget that. Give me a release date of when it's coming, when 7 Remake is coming to PC, please.
Please.
I'm still
Put our
waiting.
clown makeup on.
Right.
Or
Yeah. They're like, we need to make a poster that does not say Final Fantasy in any way, shape, or form, so that the redacteds don't get excited for it. They knew. I mean, you can't say Square Enix without expecting an RPG or without expecting Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts or anything. So they're like, before they put on their clown makeup, let's just tell them that none of the sort is getting. I mean, we don't know. They did talk about like mobile games, so we don't know if Square Enix Montreal is developing a mobile RPG game. Like we don't know what they're doing.
Maybe they'll talk more about those Final Fantasy games that's coming to mobile.
Maybe that could be a thing. Yeah. By the way, it is happening on March 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. GMT, and 6 p.m. Central. So Central Europe, I should say. So we might be able to react either on this channel or on either of our own. But definitely,
Ooh,
definitely,
maybe so.
yeah, definitely keep tabs on Just Gaming Tingz on socials and each of us individually, because listen, at least one of those 4 channels is gonna have a reaction for it. So at least one channel
Right.
will do something.
Right.
So don't you worry. Um, but Koga, what do you want to talk about this week?
Oh my goodness. So the other day I was just, at work, which is like right where I'm sitting now currently, and I'm just looking on the internet and I see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. And I'm like, wait, what new game? So this is pretty much gonna play like the older ones, like Turtles in Time, and then the one before, like arcade beat 'em ups. And they're also using the turtles from them, which from the 1987 show, and it's done by .emu. I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong. I'm sorry. Which also released Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I have high hopes for this because they got Streets of Rage 4 right.
They did.
So I'm like, okay, this one, they got it. If they don't, I'll be surprised. But it's really nice looking at it.
It looks good.
And then of course, it really does. And then they gave them like super moves. They all run differently to give them, different animations and things like that. Hopefully the online is good because it's going to be 4 players. So you're going to be one to play online or with roommates if you have those. They haven't given a release date yet. It was just, okay, this is what's happening. And they released a trailer that was like a pretty much version of, I guess, a modern version of the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme. And I cannot wait. I know it's coming to Steam. I would assume it's coming to everything else because why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm definitely want to play that. I'm also curious if I highly doubt it, but I was like, I wonder if April's going to be a playable character because I saw she kicked the crap out of someone in that trailer while she's holding her like news camera or something.
That would be iconic. Maybe they're finishing her moveset before they announce a release date.
I mean, maybe.
I don't know. Just talking out of my ass.
I mean, if not, someone will probably mod her in on PC or something. Which that's of course something else I'll be really interested in because someone will probably like mod in like the older models. If they don't already put them in, because I know like in Streets of Rage 4 they did that to where you can unlock the characters from Streets of Rage 1 all the way up until 3. Which was honestly, that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So if they do something like that, that'll help give it replay value. But yeah, for this, I am like, okay, I want it. I wish I had a release date, but we don't.
Right? Oh my god. I didn't grow up with the game myself, but there were a lot of like beat 'em ups at the time that in my head, this is what I'm hoping for. So in my mind, this is what happened. Streets of Rage 4 did well, so they were like, ooh, let's revive other games from that era. So they did Ninja Turtles. In my head, if Ninja Turtles does well, they're probably going to do Power Rangers next. And then in my head, if they do Power Rangers next and they do well, they're going to do Sailor Moon. Because there was a Genesis Sailor Moon beat 'em up game that only came out in Japan. And so give me Sailor Moon. Because if that game does well, then maybe Bandai Namco will look at it and be like, oh, let's make a open world Sailor Moon game that Ruby wants.
Just, like pulls out this like big like cork board with red strings connecting everything.
I mean, listen, I will be happy with Power Rangers though. Listen, if the next one in line is Power Rangers, those games are super fun in the Genesis era. So like, if anyone can do it, .mu can do it because they did amazing with Streets of Rage, and it looks like they're doing amazing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So yeah. I think, yeah, if they want to keep reviving beat 'em up games from the 90s, though, I'm making a list. Power Rangers, Sailor Moon, and then something else. I don't know.
You right. You just like tear down your green screen and the board's behind there.
.mu. Here's the data. Do it now. All the Sailor Senshi characters, make them all available. Give it to me.
Then maybe they can get hired by Capcom maybe to make another Final Fight maybe. I don't know. I don't think there's been like a new one in a long time.
Who knows? But Spin, if there was a game from a game series, I guess, from the 90s or 80s that you would want to see like revived in this way, what would it be?
Now you put me on the spot, because like,
how dare I? That was the only thing I was thinking about. I was like, ooh, okay, that's cool, whatever, for those that are fans of that, but like Sailor Moon, Power Rangers, give it to me.
I connect this to my Sailor Moon game that's in my brain.
Right?
Like, I was just kind of like, the art style's really nice, because like I'm not really a beat 'em up person or a TMNT person.
Valid.
I was just like, the art style's cute.
Yeah.
I mean, there isn't really like a franchise that I can necessarily think of that like hasn't already been revived or like remade or isn't still continuing.
Yeah.
I want to say, but like that's pretty much like because pretty much all the stuff that I played as a kid, like I played like Soul Blade for PS1, and then Soul Calibur got made, and they're still doing Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played like a lot of Spyro, a lot of Crash. Those both came back. Like,
yeah.
Like there's not really like a one that got away of like game franchises for me, I guess.
Oh, must be nice. I'm just kidding.
Still waiting on my Sweet Home from Capcom, but I don't think we're ever gonna get that.
I know there were like a lot of games that were like licensed properties that kind of died down. Like we don't really get a lot of licensed games anymore for like movies. There used to be like a lot of movie tie-ins with games and stuff like that.
The thing is though, a lot of those were really bad.
Maybe so. Turns out like turns out giving developers like a year to work on a game to tie it in with like a movie release, turns out that's not a great idea.
Yeah. And then they get delisted at some point.
Right. But what if they did a license? What if, you know what? What if .mu emailed you, Spin, and they said, "Hi, Spin Blend, we love you, so we want to do this for you. So do you happen to have a licensed franchise that you would love for us to make into a game?"
Oh God.
That's like a side-scrolling, like cutesy, like that, you know, the similar art style, right?
Hmm.
What would it be?
Oh my God. Okay.
Ooh.
What about if we're going for beat 'em up?
Mm-hmm.
Powerpuff Girls.
Yes. Oh my God.
Powerpuff Girls.
X-Men.
Ooh. Also that. Please.
Because they re-released it on like PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and of course it got delisted.
Oh.
So yeah. Oh, give me that back, please.
That would be cool. You know, do you remember that Genesis game called Comic Zone? I think it was called Comic Zone.
Yeah, Comic Zone.
What if they did... It was basically like a beat 'em up, but they had like each stage was like little comic windows. So I was thinking like, what if something like that, like they did something like that for like X-Men or something like that. You know what I mean? Where like they told a story through like little cartoon little windows, and then you had the side-scrolling stuff. Because I don't remember the games being super like them having a lot of a story, and not that a beat 'em up needs a lot of story, but I think that could be like a cool way. Like you can definitely do an art style that is very like cartoony, and yeah, I vaguely remember the characters like when he punched someone, there would be like the booms and the pows that you would see from like a cartoon. So I think that could be super cool, especially now with like the way that graphics have evolved. Ooh.
Yeah, because I know, was it Maximum Carnage, which was a Spider-Man and Venom game. It had that to where it would like have like the boom pow and
Yeah.
everything else when you were like hitting people. Those games were so much fun. I mean, after a while, it kind of can be to where you're pressing like the same button, but like I don't know, just sometimes it's just mindless fun sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, those would be fun. Ooh, we have actually a suggestion from chat of a game that our friend Dexter Lister would like to see. A Thrillville moment where it's a roller coaster tycoon, but you actually work in the park and can play games and stuff. Ooh, that could be cool.
Okay.
I would love just a lot of more games that are like fun and just cute. And it's not drama. What if we have a game about Animal Crossing that's like a beat 'em up, and it's just Isabelle with like a gigantic bag of bells just hitting people in the head like, you owe me, bitch. No.
Isabelle would never do that. She's a sweetheart. How dare you suggest this about her character?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've seen the memes of Isabelle holding a gun. That seems in character for me. I think she would do it.
No, she's a sweetie and she's wonderful. She would never use a gun.
Tom Nook would.
Mhm.
Might.
Tom Nook would. He would run after you with a gun for sure because you owe him bells because you didn't pay your house, debt to him, and you just fled to another island. He's like, you know what? This redacted must die. Anyway. What has everyone been playing this week? Can you tell I've been playing Animal Crossing?
Tell us about your Animal Crossing adventures.
Oh my god, my Animal Crossing adventures have been so much fun. I officially have every single item from the Mario update. Now I've started buying things twice because I've started to give my villagers outfits from obviously the Mario series. So I've had Plucky wear the Wario suit. I've had Sheldon wear the Luigi suit, and I actually just built 3 new houses. So I'm gonna have 3 villagers join me. I'm super excited. We did a little villager hunt stream, which actually was very quick because the first 3 villagers that I found were 3 villagers that were adorable, and I really needed to have. So I'm gonna have Flora, Stu, and another villager, Norma. Yes. Cuties all around, adorable, precious babies. I'm excited to have them. I'm super excited to be able to do more stuff because I just got ladders. I just, I'm able to traverse through my entire island now. I didn't think about it too much, so I may have, a couple of my villagers may get stuck in the higher parts of my island because I don't have staircases yet, and I didn't think about that. So some of them may be isolated for a little bit, but we're just keeping it true to real life for now. They're just gonna stay quarantined for the first couple weeks of them being in the island just to make sure that everything's okay. And then, yeah.
I hate it. No.
And I got coconut trees, which is very important.
I'm so excited for you. You got some like literally 3 tickets, 3 cute villagers. I'm just
Right?
your luck. Like, oh
And
my
one of the
god.
tickets was like the tutorial one that you get for free. So I didn't even spend 3 of my own tickets. That was
Oh my
that was
god.
iconic. I was like, "Oh, I
I
guess we're
love it for
keeping
you.
them." I guess,
Keep them for next time. Yeah. Save them
yeah.
for Pietro.
Oh, yes. I need Pietro to join. The clown villager. Hello, hi. I'm a clown. I need you. It's what I need. It's what
Beat
I
me to
I
it.
love
deserve.
that.
I love Pietro
Love
so
that.
much.
Pietro's so good. I also have him on
Pietro.
eHolly. He's
Yeah.
everything to me.
Yeah. Exactly. I also did try a game called Viola the Heroine's Melody, which is like an indie title that's a platformer and an RPG with rhythm mechanics. So you basically play as, Viola, the main character, and she's basically like practicing on her violin, and she gets like very negative about herself, and she's like, "Oh, I can't do it," and she feels like she got her violin from her mother who passed away, and she was an amazing musician. So there's that story of like, I am not deserving of this and stuff like that. So it naturally, she creates a black hole that sucks her into another universe. That's obviously what happens when you are too negative about yourself. And so it's just, so far I've only played like about an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's just very wholesome, and it's like all the characters being very supportive and very giving like very inspirational talks about like music and how it's not a competition, it's not about how good you are, how it's about expressing yourself. And then the gameplay itself, the platforming is very bare and very simple, to be fair. To be completely honest, it's not like anything groundbreaking, and neither is the combat, to be honest. Like, if you've played a turn-based RPG, you know what to expect. But the cool thing about it is like when you do abilities in the game, or any like attacks or anything like that, every character has an instrument, so there's a little bit of a rhythm mechanic in the actual fight. So you have to time certain buttons a certain way. You have to like either press them or tap them or mash them wherever it is, and it's really cool. My only complaint, if I were to have a complaint, is that the rhythm mechanics don't match up with the music playing in the background. It's just kind of like a timed thing rather than like you're actually playing the music or adding to the music that's playing in the background. So that's kind of the only gripe that I have with it. But again, it's an indie studio. The game literally was in early access for for a little bit, and it's just they just released their 1.0 version. So I can only assume the game is going to be worked on consistently for a while, and they're going to be improving it as we go. But yeah, what are y'all been playing?
Do you want to
I've
go
been
first, Coder?
yes. I've been playing Sound Voltex 3 Gravity Wars. What this is a rhythm game by Konami, so it is part of the Bimani games, which is they're just line of rhythm games that they make that pretty much is kind of mostly made for Japan nowadays. It goes with like the same model as I've done with like Beat Mania and Nostalgia, so one of these might have to go. Um, because I do like this one a lot. So I don't have a controller for it yet, right? But it's pretty much you press, of course, like any rhythm game, you press some buttons, but this one like has these knobs that you turn for like certain parts to where you have to like on the track that comes, you have to turn. I can't do that, so I just have to press a button. But it is a lot. This is fun to play. So far I have not played a song that I have not liked, which I don't know. I found that like when it comes to Konami and their rhythm games, it's pretty much high quality music. So I streamed that actually yesterday as well, about last night, and that's mostly what I've been playing for like all week. I'm hoping they update it soon because it's even though it's the third one, the sixth one came out in Japan last month, But with this one that they have on PC on their online service, they have like added songs from like later on titles. So it's the UI is pretty much just 3 with songs with later games, but I kind of wish they would update it because I think that thing is like 720p and 60 frames per second because that's what the screen was at the time. So hopefully they update that soon, but it's fun to play. And then there's also like I can say a free version. It's a clone version. It's literally called Unnamed Sound Voltex Clone. And it's pretty much where the community can like make their own tracks or, do the obvious. And you can play on that as well. And it's free. You just have to like get it set up and things like that. So if you don't want to have to like use their service, then it's not, an issue. And if people making their own tracks, it's not like it's illegal or anything, as long as the certain ones you probably shouldn't. But it is a good way if you're like just to get like an idea how the game works. You can play that and it's free. And there's also skins as well, so you can make it look like the actual game. So I have mine looking like Vivid Wave, which is the 5th game that came out, I think, like 2 years ago. But that I don't know, these rhythm games have been consuming my life for like the past few weeks.
I love that journey for you. I don't play enough rhythm games.
Like, I wanted to play more, but it like especially when it's once over here, it's just the DMCA that's kind of concerning. And that's been like a big reason as to why I waited so long, because I was trying to like talk to the community and people who've been playing these games to be like, okay, what has been your experience? And from what I've noticed, like none of them had an issue with this. But it's probably also, again, these games are in Japan. They don't really release them over here, like officially at least. So it's either Konami doesn't care, or it's just that it's because it's over there and not over here in America that maybe not be much they can do. But from what I've seen and talked to people who streams and things like that, they've never had an issue with DMCAs or strikes or anything of that nature. And when I looked at I guess when you go into like what do they call it now? Like what do they call this thing now? The creator dashboard and things like that. Look at the video. It didn't have like any parts that was muted or anything like that. Oh, nice. So that makes it a lot better, because the thing for me is that makes this so fun is I have never heard most of this music ever in my life. So it's listening to new music, playing it, and it's, in my opinion, one of the best experiences, because like discovering new music that you like is just amazing. And then to also have it to be in a game format makes it even better. But when you have to worry about, okay, am I going to get like a DMCA or some nonsense like that, which I hate how that has turned out on Twitch, like over the past few months, to not have to really worry about that as much is like a lot relieving. Plus, it's also easier if I'm like, don't want to talk as much. I don't have to worry about that, because you can't talk during a song.
Right. Yeah.
I'm glad that like you're not like having any DMCA issues with that, because I know you were concerned about it.
Yeah, because I like, if I honestly got a strike or something, I wouldn't care as much. But it's like, what if that happened and I got banned and then I come onto here? And that was my concern, because I didn't want like, the podcast, to get taken down because of something like that. So that's why I was trying to be like extra careful and like talk to a lot of people who I knew who were streaming this on Twitch to be like, okay, what's been their experience, and no one has had issues yet. So
that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
We want to keep you around.
I'm being very careful.
We'll miss you. But yeah, speaking of games that have been taking over our lives, oh my god, okay. So, I obviously still playing Final Fantasy XIV. I finished the post Stormblood stuff, and I'm finally in Shadowbringers, which is the most recent expansion.
Nice.
And okay, so everybody said that the story of Shadowbringers, everybody I've talked to about it has been like, Shadowbringers is incredible. It's like, and okay, no spoilers at all. Region is beautiful. Cutscenes, wow, oh my god. Story,
That good?
What a lovely description. Wow.
I ah.
Oh wow.
Smells confirmed. It's very that.
Mm-hmm. Oh my
That's
goodness.
all I can say. But oh my god.
Mhm.
Ah. So that's been my
Good.
experience. Also, I'm almost level 80 Black Mage.
Yes.
Finally.
Look at
I'm working
you.
my way up there.
I'm like
So yeah, that's been my experience.
31.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Don't like especially after 50, like the levels just like you're gonna zoom.
Yeah. It's just like that first, like the base game is very laggy, like story wise. It feels like every other quest, you're like, what does this have to do with anything? What am I doing? Like, why am I getting like medicine for this random person? They have nothing to do with the story, or just like random fetch quests, or like go here and talk to that person. Oh, go there and talk to that person. So I'm just like teleporting all across, all around the world, being like, why? Like, what are y'all even talking about? How is this gonna connect with what I'm doing next? So
Yeah, that's MMOs.
My favorite thing is like there are a lot of quests, especially in Realm Reborn, where like you have to talk to different people and like relay messages, and they're all like standing like right next to each other. It's like, why don't you just talk to each other amongst yourselves?
or like down
And
the
then-
road. I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, just walk down the road.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But-
And I'm like, why?
I believe it was in Heaven's Word. There was like a quest that like kind of lampshaded that and was like you had to talk to like 3 different people who were all literally standing in a triangle formation, like looking at each other, and they were like, I don't know why I'm asking you to do this instead of just going and talking to him. He's right over there.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And
At
I
least
was
you get the
just like,
experience.
You're like, yes, you should
I-
have.
I love like the self-awareness of that.
Uh-huh, yeah. Yeah, I'm liking my
Yeah,
experience with it, but it is very, like, I have to be very patient and be like, it will get better. I know it will get better. At some point, something juicy is going to happen at some point. I don't know when, but every once in a while, something juicy happens and you're like, ooh. But it's not very frequent in Realm Reborn.
Things
Yeah.
are on the way.
Yes.
Don't even worry about it.
Yes. I know. Every time there's like a meeting with the girlies and the squad, you're like, okay, we're about to do some shit. But until it happens, you're just like, oh my god, please, can we just? But anyway, sorry. What are you playing more?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. That's all I've been playing. I'm other than just like working on my Animal Crossing town on Yeehaw Land. It's going pretty well.
Yeah.
There's still like big areas of the island that are like really undeveloped, but it's going. It's going. I'm building it all from scratch. I completely destroyed the island, and I just rebuilding
Love that.
absolutely everything, and it's going pretty good. There's just like a couple sections that I need to finish up, and then I'll be able to execute my vision.
Yes. And where can people find that journey of you building your island from scratch?
On twitch.tv/spinblend. Oh my god.
Oh. What other things are you doing on twitch.tv/spinblend?
Playing Animal Crossing. I'm shiny hunting for shiny Milcery, which has been evading me thus far. Sometimes
long.
I put glitter on my face. Sometimes I play Final Fantasy 13. Sometimes I talk about Final Fantasy 14 instead of playing it.
I love that.
Sometimes I make soap and I talk about soap.
Yes. Where do you
It's a-
sell that soap?
I sell that soap on Etsy at Spin Soap Cafe.
Wow. Did you
Shop on
recently
Instagram.
add new soaps there?
Sure did. Oh my god, how did you know? Maybe it's because you followed my Twitter at Spinblend, where I post updates. my
wow.
TikTok also where I post soap videos.
This very conversational, very obvious promotional content.
Oh my goodness.
We're going in a very roundabout way about promoting ourselves this day.
But yeah, I know you mentioned streaming more rhythm games. Where can the people find that?
Well, you can find that at twitch.tv at Koga_Jangles. I'll probably be streaming that probably more often. I'm still like at novice 4 songs, so I'm just working my way up. Like I'm not in a rush to get to the harder difficulty stuff yet. There's like 400 something songs to go through. And that's just on like the infinite playlist. There's like a other playlist that you can go through if you just decide to use tickets that cost money. And that's like 1,074 songs in there. So there's a lot to go through. But
Right.
so, and you can of course also find me on Twitter at Koga_Jangles, where I talk about things. I repost a lot. The arguing of netcode has definitely died down because we won.
Yes.
Except with Namco. That's the hardest one.
Well,
It's gonna be the hardest one.
but still, some victories, progress. We
Oh
love
yeah,
to
for
see
sure. 'Cause
it.
pretty much almost every fighting game company now knows it is important to put it in their games now. It took a pandemic for that to happen,
Right.
because then they realized, okay, people aren't having fun playing online. And I'm like, well, yeah, we've been telling you this for like almost a decade, but sure.
It's
So yeah, because Guilty Gear, they had a beta about a few weeks ago, and the feedback to that one was really good. SNK came out and said they were putting rollback netcode in the upcoming King of Fighters 15. So now we just have to hope that Namco does this in their future games, but they're like kind of the biggest company of all of them. So
we'll see.
we don't know.
Hopefully they'll think about it a lot and make it happen.
I hope, but one of Harada says that it's already in like Tekken 7, and we're like, oh my god, he has a different idea of what this is than we do, and he will argue with us about this.
Oh.
And I was like, no, it's like uh-oh. Like I love the guy. Like he cares about the franchise. He really does. There's no denying that. But we're like, you gotta start listening to us on this one. But they did make it a bit better. It's just still delayed based, which isn't good for like distance at all. So like if you and I tried to play Ruby, it might not be the best. But if it was rollback, it's better able to handle that, because it gives it like an input delay buffer. So it'll help it to where, around the world you're able to do that a bit more. But unfortunately, these games are in Japan, and they look at it to where it's like in Japan it's no problem because it's like a smaller country compared to America, so it's fine over there. But when you come over here to a big America, like it ain't fun playing in people in different regions sometimes.
Right.
So hopefully,
yes, please.
And speaking of collaborating with our friends in many regions, I know, Ruby, you have a very busy next few days coming up. Do you want to tell us about it?
I sure do. I did talk about it in the beginning of the podcast. So yes, today we're doing the episode of Just Gaming Tingz. Great, every week.
Right now.
It's happening right now. This is what you're watching. Hello, hi. Tomorrow, Sunday, the 14th, I am going to be on Quarantine. My friend Kisos has a music video showcase for LGBTQIA plus artists, and we're just gonna be like watching them. We're gonna be, hyping them up, saying what we think about the videos and giving them a shout out and all that. So that should be super fun. And then on Monday, I have a new episode of my podcast called Breakfast at Ruby's, featuring two very special guests, Frank the Pegasus and Pleasantly Twisted. So I'm super excited to talk to them. That's going to be happening on Monday. It will be up on Tuesday on all the platforms, including YouTube, Spotify, etc. And besides that, I'm still playing Final Fantasy VII Remake on Mondays. On Wednesdays, I'm playing Majora's Mask. And on Fridays, I am playing Tomb Raider 3, which I almost rage quit. So
Again?
this week may be the last week, but I'll
Rider 3.
I'll say that every week until I either beat it or quit it. So we'll see if I have another terrible week. Like, y'all don't understand. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Tomb Raider 3. Yes, I grew up with that. Yes, Tomb Raider. I love the old Tomb Raider games." Once you play the first Tomb Raider, you're like, "Oh, this could be better." And then you play the second one, you're like, "Okay, this is slightly better than the first one, but there's still improvements to be made." And then you play the third and you're like, "This is the worst version of all of those games, because now they have quicksand everywhere. Like, they learned how to do quicksand, so quicksand is in every possible place you could have it, right? And it just has like more climbable things, but the textures are so similar that you're not able to tell, or they have platforms hidden behind walls or between things that you're not really like privy to look at. And good thing is, like, through the power of modern technology, you can save state. But if you were playing like the actual version in the 90s, I don't know how people did it.
We had nothing else to do.
Yeah,
Perseverance.
that's
We were
true.
kids. We had nothing else to do.
That's true. I don't know if I would have, though. I don't think I did, actually. Like, I only played like the mansion part, where you just kind of like run around the mansion, do a little obstacle course, and then you fail at it. Never did that. Never locked the butler in the freezer.
It was like a playground rumor in Tomb Raider 3. You could, when you go around the mansion, you could lock the butler in the freezer. And I tried that was my goal in the game, to be able to lock the butler in the freezer. And I still remember succeeding at that and being so proud of myself.
Aww. Look at you. I remember testing out the game in the mansion, and I got stuck, I think. He like cornered me or something, and I was like, I hate it. This isn't fun.
Oh no.
So there's that. And there's like a part of the mansion where like there's like a timed door that you have to like rush through, and because the butler is following you, sometimes he's in the middle of the way and you're like, "No, get out of the way, old man, please." But yeah. Anyway, yeah, Tomb Raider 3 is very aggravating. That's all. You can find everything at Project Ruby, the Project Ruby on TikTok and Instagram. For Quarantine, it's gonna be on Kisos' channel, so it's Kisos, on Twitch and later on his YouTube. So that should be fun. And yeah, y'all, we're gonna be back next week. At some point this week, one of us, all of us, who knows, are gonna react to the Square Enix thing. Stay tuned to our socials, including Just Gaming Tingz with a Z. You can find us on Twitch. We can find us on YouTube. You just have to look us up because we don't have a custom URL yet. And you can find us on Spotify and all the fun podcast services. So yeah, have a good week, everyone. Thank you for watching or listening. And we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.